This is my Explorer Bear 42 quart fridge freezer. It's been sitting back here for a week or two, ever since I got back from overland of America. But let's take it in the shop and check it out. I don't know about you, but I have a hard time buying things offline, especially things that are going to cost me several $100s. So this is my Explorer Bear 42 quart 12 volt fridge, and I got it as kind of an upgrade or replacement to this Lifetime 55 quart cooler. Now the Lifetime cooler, it's a great cooler. You know, if you're going to have a cooler, this is definitely a cooler that I would recommend. But all coolers, the ice will melt, and then that melted ice, that water ends up getting into your food and stuff. I don't care. I swear, even if I put stuff in Ziploc bags, it just seems like somehow stuff in water magically gets into everything. So I'm going to go over just a quick comparisons between the two, and hopefully you'll get something out of this that will help you decide on what you buy. I'm not sponsored by Explorer Bear. I'm not getting paid to do this. Matter of fact, I paid for this out of my own money. So this is just me trying to help somebody out, just like when I was trying to decide what I wanted to buy. I was trying to look for people's reviews and videos to kind of help me make my decision. When I bought my Explorer Bear, I also bought this insulating cover for it. I got it for two reasons. Actually, no, I got it for one reason. I got it just to insulate my cooler, to help make it run more efficiently, so it doesn't use as much battery. But honestly, the other part about it that I didn't realize till later was, you see how dirty it is right now? It actually helps protect the cooler and keep it clean, keep some of the dust off of it. It's not going to keep all of it off because obviously it has to be able to breathe, for the cooler or for the refrigeration unit to work. But it does help protect the cooler, help insulate it, and help kind of keep it cleaner. So that's a plus with it there too. I have it set for 34 degrees. You can see it's using 12.3 volts, and the on-off button and the settings. So the settings is where I would adjust the temperature on it. You can also put it on three different like energy type settings, battery saving settings. So whether or not you have it on low, medium, or high depends on how far it'll let the battery drain down that you're hooked to until it cuts itself off. So it actually has a built-in feature to keep it from completely killing your battery, but I don't use that feature because I run it off of an auxiliary lithium battery. Here's the inside. It's got these baskets. Baskets make it nice. You can blow your baskets up in the house and then just bring it out and put it in your cooler. Likewise, to unload it, same thing. You just take the baskets out, carry it in the house versus, taking individual items out of the cooler and taking them into the house. Yeah, the smaller section over here, I like to put some drinks, like a couple cans of soda in here, or maybe small things that I don't want to get lost into the bottom of the cooler and have to dig them out. So let's compare. People say you don't need as big of a fridge as you do a cooler because you lose space in the cooler because of ice. So let's explore that real quick. All right, so we're gonna take these baskets out. We're gonna set them inside the cooler. So you can see this actually fits better that way. So now the question becomes, do you use this much ice? Is your cooler going to be that packed full of ice? If so, then yeah, I guess it equates to about the same. If I was doing it over again, I probably would get the 52 quart refrigerator. So 55 quart cooler, 42 quart fridge. But if this was a 52 quart, it would still be smaller than that, but would carry more than that because I wouldn't be losing space to ice. The 55 quart, I think, still will carry a few more things than what this will carry, even with ice, but you do lose space. But with the 42 quart, like how it's got the little built-in light right there. The 42 quart is good for two people for like a weekend. But I go solo, so for me, I can carry a week's worth of stuff in here. Knowing what I know now, I probably would get a 52 quart, especially, if I wanted to go camping for more than a weekend and I wanted someone to go with me. Just, better safe than sorry. Now this will freeze. It will work as a refrigerator. It will work as a freezer. It won't do both at the same. So normally when you have a fridge that's also a freezer, say this half freezes, this half refrigerates. As small as it is, I didn't want to lose space to a freezer. So I run it as a refrigerator. Now I have used this as a freezer. The fan motor in my freezer in the house actually went out, and I put all my frozen stuff in this for a couple of days until I could get a new motor. So it did save me there, and of course it did keep my stuff extremely well frozen. It definitely will freeze. And like I said, this has the cover on it, and the cover simply unzips, and then this just all lifts. It just lifts off the side. So, and on the side over here you have handles. I use those to strap it down onto my fridge slider. It's got one on both ends. This also comes with a cord to plug it into, 110 outlet, or obviously the 12-volt cord, which I have plugged into my Jackery right now. So according to Explorer Bear, this uses 2.8 amp hours per hour for 0 degrees at 72 degrees ambient. So basically what that means is that if I set this at 0 degrees, all right, so if I have it at 0 degrees Fahrenheit and this room was 77 degrees inside, this would use 2.8 amp hours per hour to maintain 0 degrees, which I think works out to about 35 3/4 of an hour. Let's say 35 hours and like 45 minutes. Now, when I use this on a 12-day trip out in Colorado, we went to Overland Expo the last weekend that we were out there. We got there Friday afternoon, right about, when I say noon, it was like 12:30ish. And then we were there until in the afternoon on Sunday. And this ran on my 12-volt lithium battery. I have a 100 amp hour lithium battery. It ran on that all weekend, no problems. And then 2 weekends ago, I was at Overland of America. It was like 92 to 94 degrees. I kept the cooler set at 34 degrees. And I got there Thursday night. So I was there Thursday night, all day Friday, all day Saturday. And it was probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock when I left on Sunday. And this thing was still running great. I still had plenty of battery life in my battery. And that's the other thing. People are trying to calculate, well, how much power is it going to use? Am I going to need all this auxiliary power? I have a 100 amp hour lithium battery in the back of my truck that charges off of a DC to DC charger. And that battery runs this refrigerator. And I also have this Jackery over there, this Jackery 500. This Jackery 500 would run this thing for a long time as well. But with my 100 amp hour lithium battery, I'm pretty confident that I could probably go 4-5 days just off the battery on this. But I'm set up so that this thing is running off the truck battery during the day when I'm driving, and then in the evening when we camp, I switch over to a lithium battery so it's not draining my main battery. And then that lithium battery charges back up during the day while I'm driving around and exploring. But I also know, as I said, that I can run this off of my 100 amp hour lithium battery for a good weekend, if not 4 or 5 days, off the 100 amp hour lithium battery, and it won't kill the battery. So it doesn't use that much power. Obviously, that's dependent on what you got the temperature set at and what the outside temperature is. But like I said, mine right now is set at 34 degrees, and I ran it for a full weekend, like that when it was 92, 94 degrees out. A friend of mine has this fridge, and he actually leaves his plugged in out in his garage with drinks in it, and he just leaves it running all the time. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should have it out here so I can just grab a cold drink when I'm working out in the shop. But there you have it. So Lifetime cooler is a great cooler, but I'm really glad that I got my Explorer Bear 12-volt fridge. The 42 quart works good for me for a week. But if you're a family, if you're two people, I probably would lean more towards the 52 quart than the 42 quart. But regardless, I would recommend it. Now, I will say also, let me point this out, that the 52 quart, you can get that with an optional LG compressor. And the LG compressor is about $100 more than the base compressor that's in these things. So, and that's another nice thing. If you get the 52 quart, then you can upgrade that for another $100 with the LG compressor, which is a well-known brand name compressor. But I don't have the LG compressor on this, and I'm very happy with it. And it just kicked on. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it doesn't run all the time. And it's pretty damn warm in this shop right now. I'm in Texas. It's definitely really warm in this shop right now. But it just kicked back on. It'll run for a couple minutes and it'll shut off again. But it's holding 34 degrees. It does a great job. I definitely would recommend it. So I hope this helps you out. If it helps you out, if you hit the like button down there, I'd appreciate that. I'd also appreciate it if you'd subscribe. I'll probably be doing a few more product reviews over time as I get things, if I think, that might be to help somebody else, especially if I know I struggled in trying to decide on something. If I can maybe help give advice to somebody else that they might help. Even if this makes you not want the Explorer Bear fridge, even if it just helped you make a decision on something, then that's great. I mean, that's what we're here for. But I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.